Hello and welcome to the Intercontinental Group of Awesome. This is where I, Rich Rogers, and a bunch of my friends here in America and across the pond in Europe play tabletop role-playing games. This is the fourth issue or session of Project Lycra. Project Lycra is an apocalypse engine or powered by the apocalypse RPG. Inspired by the likes of Masks: A New Generation, which you should totally get from Magpie Games. But this is Jen Kitzman's own creation that uses that as kind of a pivot point and creates the ability for you to play super heroics with grown-ups and adults or, other folks like aliens and the like. We are using Halcyon City as our setting. And you may want to look back in the YouTube channel for the Halcyon City Herald collection game that I ran, because a number of the characters in this game, even though we're using Project Lycra stats, they originated in the Halcyon City game. So there's all of that. As a reminder before we jump in, that we do use the safety tool of the X card. While this is a super hero style game, it's we never know if we will stumble into something that someone finds troublesome or causes them to a little anxiety, or they stop having fun. And we use the X card. All you have to do is make an X or just note it or say out loud, "Hey Rich, I need to X card a thing." We'll stop play. We'll talk about what that thing was. I'm not going to challenge you on it. The only thing I want to know is what was X carded in case it wasn't clear. And then we excise that from our play. We move on. I kind of consider this as like a PG-13 style game. So that's the general content that I will lean towards. And yeah, I think that's that. So let's introduce ourselves to our characters. A brief intro of our players and characters. Let's start with Alex. No, Alex, I feel like I'm picking on you because you have an A name, but I'm sure you're used to it. So, Alex, introduce yourself and your character, please.
Hi, I'm playing Unisha Upal, aka Armature. She is the Architect playbook, which is basically the Tony Stark Iron Man. Maybe a bit of Reed Richards, the super genius with all the tech. And she has prosthetic Doctor Octopus type tentacles for limbs, because she's missing a few, almost all of them. And yeah, she's too clever for her own good and gets a bit tunnel vision.
Indeed, she does.
And she's not paying an armor car.
No, yes, she's making one.
No,
I know. Reverend Hazard needs a car. It could be an armor car.
The Deacon Mobile, maybe.
Cool. I'm going to jump over to Jen. Jen, please introduce yourself and your character.
Hey, I'm Jen Kitzman. I made the game we're playing, which clearly gives me an unfair advantage. No, it doesn't. I'm playing Seraph, aka Ashley Banner. She's the daughter of a high-ranking angel, so she gets to have wings and angelic-themed powers. She's a paragon, meaning that she's kind of a good all-arounder when it comes to power set, and people get kind of weird about the hero. People pin a lot of hopes and dreams on them. Ashley spends a lot of her time as a gigging musician, and then, of course, helps people out in Halcyon City by defending the defenseless and thwarting evil schemes as Seraph.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Jen. Jan, introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Jan from Belgium. I will be playing Marcus Meyer, aka Atlas. He was a bull in Masks, and now he's changed in Project Lycra. Changed by some experiments. He's now 7.5 foot tall, and just hulking muscles. Basically, kind of like a juggernaut, I guess. And he's not, but he's still a nice guy. But yeah, can ram through walls, and just very strong, and has a tiny girlfriend. Well, tiny. She was like 5 something.
It's pretty tiny, especially in comparison. Yeah.
I saw I've seen some basketball players with their short girlfriends, which was good to see the difference. And let's see, for XP triggers, we've got embrace my changes in the service of my heroics, or when I suffer prejudices from my teammates that my teammates do not.
Cool. Thank you very much, Jan. And last but certainly not least, we have Tyler. Please introduce yourself and your character.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I am playing Reverend Horace Hazard, or the Demon Deacon, who is a West Texas evangelist who was a hard drinker, a bit of a womanizer before he fell in love with his beloved wife, but darkness, a dark path he took, and began dealing with devils. And, well, as will happen, hell will trick even the most savvy soul. And since then, not only has he lost his wife, he has lost his way, kind of playing a part as an intermediary between heaven and hell in the great conflict, probably aligned a little towards the underside of that. And he is the tarnished. And he's attempting, at least, to try and redeem himself. He's always been on the run, trying to stay one step ahead from demons wanting favors from him. But Halcyon City and this team have made him stay put for a year or so. And it turns out that the demons are starting to find him.
Indeed, they are. Now, as Jan mentioned about XP triggers, one of the things that we've added to the playtest for this particular session, thing we talked about in feedback at the end of last session, is that instead of having one XP trigger or key for folks who know Lady Blackbird and games like that, we are going to test out 2 XP triggers because of the feeling that the XP flow was a little on the low. So we will give that a shot. Some time will pass. So first, Armature, you should roll dice because you have a particular when time passes thing for your company resources.
No.
No?
I did do a roll, but before we started, so I don't know if that's allowed.
No,
This
doesn't count.
counting that.
Doesn't count. I want it live, baby.
Okay.
I want to see it. I want to see it. There we go.
I got the exact same numbers in the exact same.
Are we sure it rolled?
I mean, I had a 5 and a 1 before.
And you have a 5 and a 1 again?
Yeah.
That seems unlikely. Do it again.
Okay. I get a 10. Do it again. Got to make sure. 5 and 6. There we go, 10.
Oh, man. It's so
I got
good.
12.
All right. That's rocking it on. What happens with a 10 plus on company resources?
I now have 2 resources for my units of company resources that I can get to spend on. You have swift access to a piece of expensive, rare, or cutting-edge equipment. I could get the public, use it to leverage public opinion or for positive coverage to shift a teammate's trust up one. Or I can come prepared to a visit with someone with just the right gift. I can spend it on those things.
Those will be very interesting. So, friends, we begin this particular issue at the... Well, I actually have a little bit of a question. The family shop that Anisha's uncle and aunt operate, I don't recall us ever, Ramesh and PbtA, do we remember what the name of their shop was?
I don't think we ever gave it a name.
I don't think we did either.
Not one that's stuck in my head.
Is there another time passes move for anybody? I glanced through moves and I didn't see one. Oh, we do have one. The secret identity one. Is there a thing with secret identity?
No, it's not a time passes, but it's a start of session.
Oh, okay. What's that?
It is there's always a way. With a little more to give in a crisis to make sure things turn out all right. At the start of session, I roll with power. On a 10+, I hold 2. On a 7 to 9, I hold 1. On a miss, I hold 1, but somebody has a dastardly plan just for me. I spend my hold 1 to 1 to take one more or one fewer choice on a roll result. I cannot avoid overstates with this move. Boy. This one's for you, Rich. I got a 6.
That's doubly good because first you get an XP, right? XP on sale.
True.
So there you go.
Is that your
Second
first XP?
First real XP of the game.
First legit XP that we didn't have to Benny you.
Yeah.
And the second one is let me just take that little opportunity you put, and I'll put it over here on my shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I borrowed that shelf from Lowell. He'll give it back later, or I'll give it back later.
Just loading it into your.
Yeah, I'm loading into my gun. It's like let's open the chamber. I'll place that bullet in my gun there. All right. Pardon me for taking liberties with our superhero setting, friends. Perhaps this will be a little too weird, but here is where we're going. We begin at Ramita and Ramesh and Benita. I knew I was saying it wrong. Ramesh and Benita's corner shop. The still yet as yet unnamed. Maybe we have like it's written in another language, and we have an establishing shot of the outside. Folks who have read the Halcyon City could tell that this is the street, right? This is where Armature, where Onisha Paul used to live, where she built our pocket dimension. But things have changed, right? It's updated. Now Armature Industries has kind of forced Ramesh and Benita into the future. So we come into the little, it's like a little bodega. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think all my stuff that I've installed is like added to what was there already, rather than like, so it still has that kind of little Indian local shop style of everything, except there's also like this, what's that metal bar above the door do? There's all these little ports that tentacles come out of, and little things whizzing along shelves. And
yes, exactly that. Yeah, we see like the framework. Everything just seems to have a little bit better structure, but it still looks homey. And then you come inside, and we see that Ramesh is trying to put up bottles of milk, like this, kind of like green friendly style bottles of milk, and he's like wresting it away from one of the tentacles because he wants to put it up, and then as he does, the tentacle comes around and like twists it to where the label's facing just the right direction. He shakes his head, and as he's doing this, off in the distance we see an onomatopoeia of like boom, and the milk bottles jiggle a little bit. He looks around, and as he's looking around, the tentacles are putting more bottles up because he's not paying attention. And then he gets up and he walks over to his wife, Benita, and she is watching the little tentacle-held television flat screen. And we see standing in front of it is none other than ace reporter for the Halcyon City Herald, Ruby Fontaine. She is standing on the roof of the Halcyon City Herald building, and behind her you see a freaking kaiju coming up out of the bay, and she is breathlessly reporting that she said earlier today, just 20 minutes ago, we saw this. It came from nowhere. We have no warning whatsoever. The Halcyon City Police Department have asked everyone to stay inside their homes, and we are evacuating the mid-center at this time. The megastars have teamed up with the superlatives because they're in city center trying to defend, and there's cut to a couple of like camera phones of people, and they are showing this monster that kind of looks a little like Cthulhuoid in its weird octopus-like eyes. And the thing stands as tall as the skyscrapers in city center. Cuts back to her, and she says, the Transcendent Crusaders and the Young Crusaders have been deployed to North Bay. They are fighting some bug-eyed monster with drills for hands that seems to be menacing the people. And then we also have reports that there's a monster in South Side. It is some kind of three-headed like flying lizard creature. So please, everyone in those areas, if you could and she starts kind of talking about the tornado protocols. Just head to your basement and do everything you can to stay off of the city streets. And we cut away from that as Ramesh and Benita look at each other, and all of the doors for the shop start, like metal plates start flipping closed, and the arms grab them up and they scream for a minute, and it's like the little evac protocol that's been programmed in. And we cut to the four of you together. I'm thinking this is like rooftop hero shot or something, or where do you think, what's the establishing shot for you guys in?
Could it be, I mean, rooftops are kind of our thing, but maybe the kind of deserted street, main street, but deserted of people, a little newspaper blown in the wind.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was just going to say, the newspaper.
Yes.
Like the only cars in the shot are cars that have clearly like crashed into each other and been abandoned.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's great. I like it. It's a little almost post-apocalyptic style. I love that. So just as a reminder for our world and setting, what has been laid out is that there is over here. Where is Rich's? Okay, there's my mouse icon. Wow, it's not helping me. There we are. Yay. Okay, so over here in North Bay, there's a monster. There is a monster that's come into city center. And then down here in South Side, it looks like all of them have come up from the water. It's that thing of like they stand up and like, gallons upon gallons, down hundreds of gallons of water all come down from them. But the one that came from South River like burst forth from the water. And it is a three-headed, we're going to call it the Hydrolon. It's a three-headed, two-tailed, golden flying lizard creature. And it is menacing Southside. Now, for those who may not remember, Southside is, of course, where Mark's is not far from where Marcus's family lives. They live in Lincoln. Southside is also where Unisha's uncle and aunt's shop is located, as well as Raccoon Records. So this is definitely a near and dear. I know, right? Rocket Records, not Raccoon. Rocket Records. I was like, what? What does the Rich say? He said RA, but he got everything else after the rack part. And it's not far from the Spike. Yes, a very good point. Not far from the penitentiary, the super penitentiary. That could be a thing that maybe you don't want to let people out of. So with all of that on the agenda, we have our heroic appearance of Seraph and Armature, and Reverend Hazard, and Atlas. So, yeah, I think we have that opening established moment where we're the four of you together, and I'm curious, what's the first thing? Who's laying it out and trying to figure out what to do next? I'm really curious.
Armature, can you confirm the reports? Mainly, I just want to know, are City Center and Northside covered? Or are they sort of covered?
Pretty diffuse. Sorry, diffuse.
Thank you. I've graduated from a project. Thank you.
Can you get me a satellite imagery?
Satellite imagery, and the situation at this point is the Transcendent Crusaders and Young Crusaders are performing well against the monster in North Bay, the megastars and superlatives are seeming to hold their own against the poison monster.
They seem to be doing okay for now.
All right.
So
Then we need to hit Hydrolon, and we need to do it fast.
and we're on our own. Let's have some fun.
And we hear the whoop, whoop of the wings as this thing starts heading towards one of the water towers, and it lands on a building. The building cracks, right? And one of the mouths just bites down onto the water tower and starts trying to twist and turn on it to open it up. Well, that is just a block or so away from you guys. What do you do?
Giant monster. Classic. Who needs a ride?
Yep.
All right.
I think I start to like take off and then like realize like, oh yeah,
Deacon?
a tentacle kind of just loops down, like, you know. I was thinking more like a little something you can just like a little hook that you can just like sit down in and just hold on for dear life.
Cool. All right. So you guys come riding in, 2 flyers carrying the other 2 as you come up to it's one of those water towers up on top of a large building here in Southside. Southside is nowhere like city center. We're talking like 6 stories is as high as most of the larger buildings get. But still, that's enough to have some height. The Hydrolon itself is hundreds of feet tall, so it is crushing this building as it stands on the water tower. Who wants to take an action first as one of the 3 heads that's not dealing with the water tower turns and sees the 4 of you approaching?
Ooh. Okay, I like to deploy lots of little. I would. Would this be a move specific? I want to throw out my gadgets and like I want to get a read on this thing. I want to know the thickness of its skin, its weight. You know.
Okay.
Is there any extra dimensional energies? Is this from our dimension? Is this being controlled? Is there any signal? You know.
That sounds like a great thing. Go ahead and roll to assess the situation. Rolling with genius, unless you have a move that's more specifically tailored to what you're doing with part of your character. You've rolled an 11, so I'm hoping for a fail. Oh, it's just a 6.
But my genius is...
Yeah, your genius is pretty good.
So, yeah, a 7 to 9.
Awesome. Before you start to ask questions, let me give everyone a piece of information. If you look on the basic moves on row 141, there under the custom moves, there is now a custom move for Hydrolon. When doing direct confrontation while fighting Hydrolon, pick an overstate option on a 10+, even if your track is not in overstate. So,
well, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I was going to go overstate for lots of things anyway, so.
No, everybody gets that fun stuff. Cool.
Yep.
So you, Armature, with your wonderful 10, you get to ask 2 questions from assess the situation.
I think it's just 1. I get 10.
No, you didn't get a 10?
No, I got
that's right. You rolled poorly. Sorry. You get 1 question. Thank you. Sorry for that. Ask what here's the biggest threat. Because I'll say Hydrolon and laugh.
Yeah, that's why I was. What here is in the greatest danger?
Ooh, nice. What here is in the greatest danger is Rocket Records is in the greatest danger. That's right, because the water tower, it's only half a block away from Rocket Records, and yeah, that's what you should be worried about.
Guys, this thing is right in the path of Rocket Records, and
Maybe I can lead him astray.
That's such a hazard.
Nice.
Sorry. Perfect. Awesome. Cool. So the first thing that does is you see this kind of golden light start at its belly and start going up its kind of thorax to its esophagus, and it opens the mouth that was watching guys. And this isn't even like a die roll. This is just threat coming as you see this weird energy beam shoot out from its mouth. And the thing is, even though Seraph and Armature, the two of you are able to dodge out of the way because you're far enough away, like you're moving in from a distance, both of you are pushed away from it. More like there's some kind of blast that affects, and your wings even seem a little topsy-turvy there, surface Seraph, for a moment before you recover.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys know the Rocket Records is under threat. You see that the water tower is torn open, and all this water starts gushing out, and the middle head starts drinking from it.
Is there a direction that is less towards populated place? I mean, is he in the middle and everywhere around him is, or it is?
I mean, if he jumped out of the river to get on the south side, he's probably
squashed a few buildings.
Surrounded by just buildings and residential.
Yeah. Well, luckily, actually, because you're near Rocket Records, there is a strip of commercial here, so that's probably the place with the least amount of people.
Or the river itself.
Or the river itself. You're like, Rocket Records is actually on the map. It is 62. So it's actually gone pretty far because it can fly. It's gone pretty far south of the south side. So I'll do a quick screen share just so we're all on the same page here. So it is here, and I'm sorry, I didn't grab the best version, but it's not far from Freedom College, and it is close to 58 DeSoto Construction. Oh, cool, DeSoto Construction. And over here, and then 72 is Dimitri's house. But he doesn't live there anymore, guys. He's West Coast, so don't worry about it. I mean, his parents do.
I'll look up, since I'm there with you, Armature. I don't know. Do we have communicators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have.
I feel like Armature wouldn't allow us to not.
We have Armature, yes.
Yeah.
What direction should I try to lead it?
Let's get it away from people. Into the hills?
What flies?
You mean towards the airport?
Maybe not that.
Bayview Heights?
Just mansions. Lowest amount of people per square foot in the city.
Highest amount of lawsuits per square foot.
And they're people who can afford to rebuild.
Is that the consensus?
Yeah, do it.
All right. I begin intoning kind of in that deep, gravelly voice that resonates a bit with the language of hell as I call upon Azazel, who was spared, who was sent into the mountains, and for whom all sins reside. Take this creature and summon him to you. And I'm attempting to bring the demon scapegoat to try and pull this thing to follow it.
Nice. So the demon scapegoat, are you just trying to trick, and your illusion power is what's fueling your trick?
I guess summoning a demon probably might make people a little bothered. But
feel free. I mean, you got permission from the rest of the team, obviously. That's what they thought you were talking about, is just summoning demons. Oh, you muted for a sec, Tyler. I'm not sure how.
Oops, me either. I was actually thinking of bringing the scapegoat into the world to bring this thing to it.
Okay. So what move is that? I'm looking. I want to make sure I understand. Are you using the bargaining?
I think it would just be using my powers for control of demons.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Yes, so then you're just going to just go with the basic wield your powers. Then let's have you do that. When you wield your powers to shift the situation, roll with power. On a hit, you get to make a choice.
All right, let's give it a roll here. So many weird pop-ups are happening. Okay, there we go. All right. I rolled a 6. That goes off of confidence, aren't I right?
Yep.
So I'm currently pretty good at that. I keep having to switch tabs. So my confidence is 2. It goes off of power, which is 2. So
wow.
that is plus 4.
Uh-huh.
So that's a 10.
Nice. You got to remember that confidence at 2 puts you in an overstate. That's delightful. But yeah, this one doesn't push high enough to be the thing. You didn't get a 12 plus. On a 10 plus, you get to choose 2 from the options there. Do you have that with you? It's under basic moves, line 41.
Let's see. I'm going to let's do neutralize an opponent or threat, at least for now, and in the idea that I'm pulling it away from the more populous areas from where it is going after things that could hurt folks as much. And take hold of something vulnerable to you. Let's see, where would that maybe would that fit in the idea that because this demon I've summoned is particularly the sort that things go after and try and it gets loaded with the sins of everyone, would it be taking its attention?
I mean, that is your intent. I think that's a great use of that move option. Absolutely.
Okay.
Cool. So going with taking its attention and then
neutralizing
the opponent or threat. Awesome. So what does this demon that you've summoned look like? And is it an illusion or is it legit, like the real thing?
I think that rather than a full opening up a portal to hell, it is illusionary, but it is infused with the demonic aura of Azazel. And so it is this massive black ram, fire from its eyes, but it's also scabrous, as though it has been whipped from town, as though it has been abused along the way, that sort of thing.
Okay. And where is it that you want? You just want to lead it to off to somewhere.
Did we say the airport, did we go with the place where rich people live?
Well, it's like a bit of some large open area, and then there's some
place
mansions.
where rich people live, Hell, how many of those are summer homes anyways?
Yeah. Like
they have other houses. Fuck
a
them.
big, massive area of the south area of the city with 100 people in, or this big clumped up residential area of thousands of people
then
who can't afford if
it is.
Yeah.
Gated communities. Oh, that's great. You guys, it's awesome. So the giant ram appears and all 3 heads, one of them rises up, water streaming from the bottom of its mouth as it was drinking from the water tower. All 3 of the heads track the ram as it stomps through the streets. The illusion is so complete that it looks as if it is knocking down buildings that it doesn't really touch. And sorry, Sorry, the chat is cracking me up. And its wings beat, and it takes off, leaps up into the air, and flies past the four of you, ignoring you and completely as it chases after this ram, and slams into the illusion of the ram. Do you imagine that this illusion is a thing that like maintains physical consistency, or is it a thing where when you touch it, it starts to dissipate?
I think that probably keeps at least some degree of coherence when it's, especially with that roll. And again, it's got that sort of, demonic aura to it. So I imagine it's unpleasant when it gets touched or whatever.
Nice. This thing doesn't seem to register demons and the like. So you, as it tackles into the ram, it like slams over the gate of a gated community, knocks into 4 McMansions, and just smashes them all kinds of SUVs, like Escalades get scattered around, and Armature, you get a report from the readings as Diffuse had dropped back, and as your perfect personal assistant was analyzing the data. And it says, Armature, your previous concern appears to be correct. This is an extra-dimensional being.
Are we talking extra-planar as in Demon Deacon?
It does not appear to be from that particular address. As Diffuse very carefully doesn't say heaven or hell after many conversations with Armature. It appears to be from an alternate version of our Earth.
Okay, we've got an extra-dimensional guest here. Huh.
You guys are seeing that fully distracted at this point, the Hydralon is tearing into the illusory flesh of the ram, and its demonic acidic blood is spilling out into the lake, as well as the perfectly manicured links or golf course that is located here in this well-heeled gated community. Has its own golf course, because that's what you need.
Seraph, can you drop it's back?
Sure. I was wondering where you'd ask for the drop off. I'll see you in a minute. Toss.
Sweet. That is fantastic. So it sounds like, Atlas, you want to directly confront this thing?
I suppose so, yeah.
All right.
Also,
yes.
Also, teamwork moves. Are we going to engage with them or not?
I think
we should.
Because trust me when I say, while this thing is distracted by a giant hell ram, it has determination. Determination is like a villain's hit points, and it ain't no slouch, friends. Shall we engage in the teamwork move rules?
Indeed.
All right. Could
Oh wait, we need to know who the leader is then.
Yeah, we do.
I think we figured that out.
Did we?
Well,
you tell me.
Going by last session stuff, I think the way Seraph kind of came into the room and just took charge.
That's true.
Without being like, everyone do what I say, but kind of doing it,
in an inclusive way rather than an everyone's going to do what I tell them kind of way.
Not trying to move people around like pawns, but Armature would probably do.
Well, maybe you've learned, maybe you
or at least subtly doing it.
But yeah, I
will
so
use Madam.
Yes, I will let go of Atlas and let's see, what do I do with that?
I'm just saying, I kind of want to see some form of fastball special at some point.
It seems a little fastball, especially to me. So
all right, I feel like this is, in that case,
The Atlas bombing
bit of-
run? I don't
well, I mean, it's a combine your strengths.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're combining something my character can do with something Atlas can do, right? So this is kind of a team up where
Fair.
we're using Seraph's flight to give Atlas a cool advantage with his super strength and durability.
Awesome. And just so it's clear, under Teamwork Moves tab, there is literally a move called Combine Your Strengths. That's what so because Jen planned for this. Jen planned for this, friends. That's how smart she is.
Thank you. So one, I'm gonna combine my strengths is my serve action.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spend a team, and we have one in our momentum pool now. And I pass the momentum to Atlas. And I think since we both agree, I'm going to spend a team so that they get to benefit on all that stuff and take one forward.
Cool. I am just going to use a roll for your party with everybody's names, and I've got the momentum. I'm just going to use it as a violet token that I stuck onto there, so you guys can keep track of it.
Yes, we need to pass the momentum around and make sure that it's physically where it is.
Sweet. So with that combining strengths, do we result in a move, or is the move that you've passed the momentum to Atlas? Atlas now can take an action in either set or volley, right? So
like that's the action.
Cool. You're giving a +1 forward. It's like a teamwork, right? And now it is up to Atlas to capitalize upon that. Atlas, you are hurtling towards the feasting on an Illusory demon ram Hydrolon. I imagine you land on its back, perhaps, or maybe you're headed towards one of its heads.
Like, as he's like cannonballing down towards it, I think in his ear you would get like a little message. Can you get me a genetic sample if it's not much trouble?
There's going to be genetic samples all over the place.
I'll see if it has scales. So let's see. What are my options? I don't have team to spend, so I can't set. So then it would have to be a volley, I think.
Yes, but you also can take an action, and then as part of the teamwork, you can volley it over for somebody else to try to capitalize.
So what I will do is I will roll Indomitable.
Yes, your brand new move. I love it.
And roll with Daring. So let's see. Daring is...
your Daring is 2.
2.
You're more daring than you are powerful? What? That's awesome.
Oh. And yeah, it's not a basic move, so it doesn't have a aligned
right
thing. So it's just a +2 then. Let's roll it. That would be a 13.
On a 10 plus, you get to hold 3.
Yep. So I will name a character on the scene, but outside of my reach. I'll go for Armature, I guess. And oh wait, no, that's I was looking for it. No, to redirect their attack. That has to be within your reach or outside of my reach. But is anyone inside of my reach?
Hydrolon's in your reach?
Yes. But like, there's a name an NPC within your reach, and you may spend a team to disable or disarm them. But
Right.
I don't have a team.
Right. But I think that last option is definitely going to pay off.
Oh, yes.
If you choose
I
that.
will definitely ignore all ill effects to myself from an incoming attack. But I mean, it's not maybe quite within my reach, but
Mhm.
I want to I want to just take hold of one of the necks and sort of pull it so that it doesn't get to aim at armature.
Okay, cool. So you are going to redirect its attack,
Yes.
and then ignore all ill effects from an incoming attack. All right. That sounds cool. Let me go ahead and reduce its determination a little bit, friends. All right. So you land on the kind of the base, all three of its necks where they can join, and it turns one head and tries to blast you, but you move up along the third neck that was turning to aim at armature, and you twist its head away, and it fires into
the ground, because
the ground.
I can determine, like, I can redirect. Oh wait, to another character, so I can also aim it at one of its other heads.
Ooh, nice. Okay, cool. Well, you wasted those two options, but you did so in a very intelligent way. So that is awesome. So yeah, it blasts one of its other heads, which seems to make it very angry. It does not like that at all. It roars in this weird dragon-like sound that echoes and shakes the ground. And that is pretty amazing. Atlas, who are you passing the mo to?
Armature, because that's who I
That
saved
sounds
from
good.
this blast.
All right. Armature, you are up. You're still carrying Reverend Hazard. Do you want to throw him in? Just like throw him? Sounds good.
You mind if I drop you down here? I'm sure you might need a rest or a breather. Okay.
That's perfectly fine.
I am going to try. This might. I kind of want to. Yeah. I want to get up, and maybe this would be covered by Pierce the Mask. But let's say I want to try and access its brain and figure out what it's doing.
I'm going to access its brain.
Let's try and adjust its behavior.
Really? Okay. Well, I mean, you do have this.
Are you trying to hack the kaiju? Because
Yes.
oh, okay.
Okay, hacking kaiju.
Is this either wielding powers or piercing the mask?
I think you're wielding powers, and you're using your sufficiently advanced technology, right? If you're using gadgets, knowledge,
so I can
resources.
roll genius.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want to try. I'm not trying to attract any attention, but I'm like coming up the neck. Probably whichever neck is the most distracted.
I think the one that just got shot is pretty distracted right now. It's hurting. It got hit in the face with some kind of gravitron beam, and it's extremely disoriented.
It's a good thing my genius is 6. Is it 6? No, It's not 6, is it?
No, your genius is not a 6. So I
That's a
think
miss.
do you need a team to actually activate this move? Is that right?
No, I shouldn't.
No,
Okay.
I was commenting on Atlas's previous action, but
Oh, huh. Okay.
Well, anyway, I got a miss. Trying to crawl up and inject a tentacle into between some
Really
scales.
awesome. That's good.
So I'm not sure how far I get.
Cool. So you start trying to hack into its brain, and you were able to just barely try to dodge out of the way as the middle head comes for you and snaps at you. You need to try to withstand a powerful blow here. Weather that blow. Roll with the absolute value of trust or confidence.
+1. Okay.
Do not forget to mark an XP for that miss.
Let's hope that low numbers are good. I've forgotten.
Yes, they are.
I get another XP.
What? This is not fair.
Yeah, I see the incoming attack and just in a slightly off-putting, squiggly way, move around the neck to the other side so the incoming head is either going to stop or slam into or bite or whatever its own other head.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, it bites in, and it doesn't actually hurt itself as much as knock off a few scales of its metallic armor.
Yeah, I'm just like hanging on for dear life on the other side, kind of like hearing the carnage on the other side.
Nice. We cut to Reverend Hazard. You're standing on top of the family fun center in this particular manicured little community where they have an indoor pool and a climbing wall and like a big area for gatherings and conferences and the like. And you're watching the carnage that's going on. It's a little different from preaching in West Texas.
A little, you know.
What do you want to do?
I'm sort of toward upfront confrontation is generally not my forte, but I hate to just like pull up a chair and watch them fight. So I suppose I should do something. How far away is this thing?
We'll say that it's like a couple blocks away. I do want to ask one question though. Armature, where did you pass the momentum after your failure? Over to Demon Deacon?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure we were on the same page. Awesome.
Okay. So I suppose I'm going to I think my best bet is to try and maybe confuse it to help other people along the way doing things to it. So I think I'm going to begin sort of chanting, evoking as I'm staring up towards at least one of its heads was just hacking an armature, right?
Yes. One just the middle head just went after the right head, and the armature's hanging on for dear life on the other side of the neck.
Okay. I think I'm going to, as I chant, I'm attempting to bring the scales down upon its eyes. I'm trying to blind it.
Oh, cool. All right. It sounds like you're using illusions to directly confront this threat.
Okay. And so directly confront is with confidence. That's good. Mm-hmm. And daring, which is 0, I believe. It is. Okay. So I'm +2. That's a 7.
Oh, whoosh. On a 7 to 9, you get to choose one. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opening. So you hit, right? You're going to affect its determination, which is like its hit points. But you also get a choice of resist or avoid their blows, which means it won't get to hit you back. Take something from them, create an opening, or impress, surprise, or frighten.
I get hurt so often, but I think I'm going to create an opening. I'll take the hit.
Oh, man, that sounds amazing. Yay. You pull the scales over the eyes of the middle one so they can no longer see armature. That's awesome. I love that. Like the hands come down. It's unable to see and it screams, but unfortunately the left head is free and it just opens its mouth. You see the whoa, as the gigantic beam comes across. We see it like knocking off entire beams underneath you, and you're the silhouette in the huge beam. And please weather a blow as you are hit full force by this graviton beam. You start, I don't know, like I think it's one of those where it makes you incredibly heavy. Perhaps you'll sink down and fall. So please weather a blow. Your absolute value of confidence would be rolling with a +2.
That's a 10.
Nice. You get to choose one of the following: remove yourself from the situation, flee, pass out, etc., lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, or 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
Oh my. Well, let's see. Let's do 7 to 9 list.
All right, good call.
Let's have you shift my confidence or trust.
Trust down by 1.
Okay. And let's have a relevant tie return to shift its attitude.
Ooh, let me look at these ties. Yeah. So, you've realized, like maybe it's even a thought bubble realization that you've become incredibly heavy. You sink through the roof, slam into the carpeted interior. It's like this huge kind of ballroom. There's all these folding chairs that are up across one of the walls. There, this chandelier thing that you crash through, and as you're lying there, you hear Dalmuth, the pawnbroker of hell, as he says, "Gotta say, really disappointed in you. You know, there's this meeting that we agreed to that hasn't happened yet, and here you are getting your ass kicked. Seems like you're just avoiding me. I'm hurt. Honestly, I'm hurt, you know."
All in good time.
Maybe this wouldn't have happened if we'd had this meeting. Maybe this happened because we didn't have this meeting. It's a little earworm I'll throw your way. Just something for you to think about, buddy. I'm going to leave you to this since this is more important to you than the thing that we agreed upon. I'll see you later.
And I lose the tie.
You lose the tie. Where do you pass the momentum? This wondrous momentum of failure. I mean, the fight.
I did create an opportunity as well, though, didn't I?
You did. Well, and we'll kind of work that into.
Cool. I think I'm going to shift to Atlas.
All right. Cool.
Since you're up there in the fight.
But don't forget that Atlas has no team. So if you guys ever want to try to
build team, we have only one person with that. Or use team, we only have one person with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then that would mean going for Seraph.
Okay.
So yeah, let's just shift to Seraph.
I mean, I'm out, but
oh, you're out too?
I'm all out. Yeah, I spent both of my team to give Atlas a bonus.
Oh, that's right.
And so there's one momentum in the momentum pool.
Yeah, there is.
And
so this is an interesting situation, right? In our playtest.
Yeah.
I'm not. What?
Okay.
what options do we have, Jen? Let's take
I mean, we
a
can
moment.
spike with just one in the momentum pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Cool.
that's not beyond the pale.
Okay, cool. So we do have options. Awesome. So you can spike. So you can hand it to Seraph or Atlas to spike, right? So
Yep,
where do you want to go?
and
I think I want to go with Atlas. I've
Okay.
got an opportunity out there. We have the momentum. Did we get him using what you gave him, Jen?
we're gonna say that he did because that was a +1 forward to his next move, and if he forgot to roll it, then I think it's pretty fair to just sort of fold that into him using something that he wasn't actually.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Atlas, get him.
Cool. So the opportunity, Atlas, is that this creature is now ignoring the ram that it thinks that it's killed, and it's flying over to the rec center because it is now interested in Reverend Hazard and ignoring you. You had hurt it pretty bad, and I think maybe you still have one of its necks, but it's kind of ignoring you and going for Reverend Hazard's body.
All right. So I guess I should spike, huh? Keep this.
Or you could call for a tag out.
Oh, all right. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll tag out and I'll name Seraph as the teammate that I think is better suited.
Ooh,
All right.
nice. Okay.
So refresh me on the situation that you're in specifically, because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Like you're holding on to one of Hydrolon's
I'm on
necks.
its back and I'm holding one of its necks, so trying to wrangle it.
Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. One of the necks is blinded. That is the middle one, and the leftmost one has been blasted by itself. So it is looking rough.
And I'm sort of going like, well, I need to keep this one in check. Seraph, take care of the last one.
Cool.
All right, and in the meantime, I've actually been finding a particularly, like, what's the biggest SUV you guys can think of? Like an Escalade, right?
It turns out there's a
Canyon
Canyon Arrow. There's a Canyon Arrow there. It is the largest. It smells like steak, and it seats 35.
Wow. All right, so I've found and picked up a Canyon Arrow.
Yes.
And I'm gonna.
My wife will be so happy. I worked a Canyon Arrow into our game.
So,
and I'm gonna make that head that Atlas is on choke on it.
We still need to choose a tag out option, I think.
Yep, we do in
Yep.
the tag out. So let's see. When you're outmatched, you name a teammate you think is better suited for the threat, and you're squared against an offer. Yeah, if they agree.
Don't you get multiple options based on if the GM agrees and
If the
if the
GM
other person agrees?
So, GM, do you agree with that?
From the beginning, and when you get to the end, discuss.
Yes.
And don't get ahead of the move.
Yes. So, first, Seraph, do you agree that you're better suited?
To controlling this head right now? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we choose one. Rich, do you agree that she's better suited?
I do think you're pretty well tangled up in what you're doing, and she is free and clear and able to fly, so I'm going to go with yes.
I do not have a team to spend for an additional option.
Okay.
So I get
two
to choose
options.
I will say that the switch was seamless, and we trade momentum with no other effect. And I will definitely say that I was right about the swap, and my teammate gets one team. but I
Yay!
do.
Someone gets a T.
Yes, exactly. But I do get. I do give the opportunity for the opponent to attack against me.
Yeah, that sounds good. Awesome. I think you've distracted it enough, Atlas, but it eventually wriggles you free and you go hurtling out. And
It
maybe
has
you
to
like
bite down on me, right? Like,
yeah.
I just want to see that frame of like Atlas standing between the jaws, like ah.
Oh yeah. It like flings you up and then it catches you up in the air and then you're holding it by the roof of its mouth, the jaws kind of pressing down into your flesh. I need you to weather a blow. That sounds awesome.
Alrighty. Oh, so I do have a thing at least that helps me a little bit. I'm tough inside and out, and when I weather a blow, I might choose to track which I roll. So I will choose my trusts. Like one from the modifier, but that's still a +2. +1, I guess.
Okay.
So, Oh, a 3.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
Did not see that coming.
Tell me how you weather the blow.
I also get an XP. Ooh.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, no, I think it's really just like he's just standing in between the jaws, and he's got his arms up, and his like you see his arms and legs straining, but he's holding, and he's just standing there holding that mouth open, and not getting bitten.
Awesome. I love it. So you are set up to. So when, and Jen, this is me making sure that I have the order of operations correct. You were not set at this point, correct? Seraph was not set because what Atlas did was actually tag out. So
Right.
you haven't
Well,
been set.
remember that sets are appended to moves because set isn't its own move, right?
Okay, so you could tag
Okay.
out and set.
Yes.
In
In that case, Atlas should have gotten the team, and then spends it to do the set.
Okay, are we
If
cool
that
with
makes
that?
sense.
Is that good with you, Jan?
Let me check, because I think didn't it say that?
That your teammate gets the team, then
So
then I'll have to set.
Yeah.
I think that it has to do with which iteration of the teamwork rules has been copied down here.
If I don't have
But,
the
like-
latest, I apologize, and we need to update it. But
It also could be that it is the latest, but in editing it, an important item got left out
okay,
in one way or another because, like, I don't intend for it to be impossible to set if you don't have team.
and I'm not trying to fight it. I just want to make sure that I'm following the rules rather than
Right.
trying to align them to what feels right. I want to.
Right.
That's how it's good playtesting.
Yep,
Right.
that's why playtesting good. So like I need to fix this, because that's technically a rules hole. Because I intend for you to spike with 0 momentum if you're feeling salty.
Yeah.
And you want to take that risk. I like that. That's
Be
part
brave.
of why I really like the momentum pool.
Mhm.
So yeah.
In that
fix-
case, if that is allowed, then I will set without.
So you're basically tagging out as a set,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you get the team, which means you're immediately spinning it as part of the set. So now the momentum clock is at a 2. You're back down to a 0 team. Seraph didn't get the team. It is now Seraph's action, and Hydrolon is no
Or-
longer fettered by. Or no, it's still trying to mash
Or-
Atlas.
Yes.
Or like Seraph got the team, but Atlas
Yes.
set with 0 team, and then when I spike, I'll spend that team to add 1 to the pool and roll the 2.
Okay, so then the momentum is at 1.
Right.
It is still at 1, yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
It's at 1 right now, but it will be 2 when I roll spike because I'm going to spend that team.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So the momentum clock goes to 2. And I know there is no momentum clock in your rules. That's what I'm using on the roll for your party to help me keep track of that. You are now going to spike to try to
Yep.
do a
Because
thing.
I got a spike because I've been set.
Yep.
And I'm going to spike it with a canyon arrow.
Yes.
Right? That's what that's called?
Yes.
Yep. So, I will try to dunk on it.
That sounds amazing. That's definitely a direct confrontation, right?
Well, spike is its own thing, period.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Sorry.
Kinda. No,
That's the one where everything else is yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh my god. All right. So I rolled a 3 on the dice.
Okay.
So that's a 5 total. That's bad. I'm gonna spend my hold from There's Always a Way to pick one of those. I'm gonna mark my XP.
Yep. Good
all
point.
the way to the bottom, then all the way to the top of the character sheet. And back to the moves. I'm going to run Hydrolon out of determination.
All right. It is done. Poor Hydrolon has lost all of his determination because you force-fed it a canyon arrow.
It's not delicious. That's for truth. And so then I've got a hard move coming at me, and the next time somebody would force Hydrolon to lose determination, he'd be K the fuck O'd.
All right.
Unless he regains some at some point.
No, so let me make sure I'm clear. You have basically used There's Always a Way in order to take more or fewer choices on roll results. But that does not obviate you from taking the consequence of a miss, correct?
Absolutely.
So you basically snatched from the jaws of defeat a little sliver of victory to run out its determination. That's awesome. It doesn't stop at the canyon arrow. It swallows you as well. Because that's amazing.
Nice.
And Jonah and the whale thing. Yes. Now, let me make sure. Were you imagining that you were shoving the canyon arrow down
his throat?
Down the throat that was choking on Atlas, or a different one? Just so we're all on the same page.
A different one, because I don't want to help Atlas go down. That seems like not a good
That seems
tactic.
less than a good
Maybe
idea.
my head? Oh.
Yes. Oh, Armature. Armature's holding on, and then you get moved out as the canyon arrow goes down its esophagus. It expands a little bit, but then you see.
Yeah, your grip sort of.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Undulates there.
I think that's the blinded one.
Yeah. So the blinded one is the one that actually snatched out and grabbed you, Seraph, and is swallowing you down, and that is my hard move. I'm not going to make you weather a blow because I think that is much more fun and interesting. So Atlas is busy. We can start again with the teamwork moves, but I'm kind of guessing that we're a little bit out of that right now this was player determination what we do. So we've moved out of teamwork moves unless someone wants to re-engage. I think it's Armature's turn to react as you see.
The only person with team is still Seraph, so.
That's true. That's true.
That's not true because I spent it.
Oh, you spent it. Yeah.
No one has any team.
No one has team. Yep.
You guys are teamless. This is great. You're a solo book with extra guest stars, and nobody knows who's at the title. Armature. You just saw this thing swallow an entire canyon arrow and a seraph. It is trying to swallow an Atlas. Reverend Hazard is nowhere to be found. You guys are screwed. What do you want to do?
She has the plan. It's not a good one. She's going in after Seraph.
Oh, that's so great. That is so great.
Friendship.
I think she's like, I mean, how scary does the mouth look at the moment? Are there any broken teeth? Is it just snapping and snapping? Is it?
Yeah, the
roaring?
blind one's just kind of snapping around blindly. The middle one is about to go for Atlas. Like it's going to do the thing of like other mouth comes to bite Atlas while Atlas is bothered.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I mean, I have two thoughts, but mainly at the moment I'm trying to save her.
That sounds amazing, and we have a move for that, friend. Right?
Yes.
You want to defend or protect someone.
Hmm.
You defend for someone or something from an immediate threat. Roll with power.
0, and I've got -1 for trust, so I'm rolling -1.
That sounds great. I'm a fan of this.
That's a result.
That appears to be a miss.
That's a 4, yes.
Awesome. So what was the oh yes?
I mean, this might be because there is. I am in my suits.
You are?
If I'm defending someone, but I have done the role, so it's. But if I'm defending or protecting somebody in the suit, I roll with the suit's strengths minus.
Sure. Well, that just changes the math. I mean,
we'll keep the dice, but
we'll keep the dice. Let's change the math. So when you defend or protect or directly engage while piloting the suit, roll with the suit's strengths minus any weaknesses that apply in this situation. Nimble and quick, self-repairing, unarmed, exposed interior. How were you trying to save Seraph? Were you trying to go
I'm
through
just
the
trying
neck or
to,
going up and down the mouth?
Yeah, up and down the mouth.
That is cool. I think then that unarmed and exposed interior, neither of those weaknesses apply here.
Are you sure exposed interior?
Well, it's exposed. Oh, maybe
like I'm not completely covered in armored.
Oh, yeah, that should apply.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed it. For some reason, I was thinking that like you were encased, but yeah, no, it's dumb.
No.
I just didn't read well. So that weakness will apply, and your strengths of nimble and quick and self-repairing, I think those can apply. Like the self-repair is going to help you with the exposed interior.
So that's a +1.
A total of +1, and we'll go
Which
back
gives
and
me
look
a
at the
6.
dice. Awesome.
A much better result.
Good job. Way to go. You went from a miss to a
just into a miss now rather than
Oh man, from a like just falling to a like fingers on the edge just for a second and then fall.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's much
Getting
better.
XP for all that hard work and math. Good job. And I know, exactly. Obviously, you guys should have faced kaiju more in this game. This is a kaiju fighting game for you guys to get moves. So you go down into its mouth, and I think you're going to be stuck, right? It closes its mouth and holds it. But you have hold of armature. You have hold of Seraph. And we're going to cut away from the two of you. Like you grabbed Seraph's arms as she's being pulled down. We see the kind of furnace behind hers. The canyon arrow is getting burnt up.
I imagine I've got like at least one cable wrapped around a tooth.
Yes,
like,
I love that.
Just by the tip.
Yeah.
Like it's not quite gripped, but
and then of course because it's a miss, we see the text or the font of diffuse. Warning, it appears that this neck is charging to fire. Cool. So we cut to Reverend Hazard. You've just been left by one of your many lovers.
Yeah.
You feel like you weigh like twice as much.
Okay, so that's stayed with me.
It is sticking with you for now.
Okay. And I'm inside of a building, I think, right?
You are, but the windows are right nearby. So
And it's big, so I can see it. Did I
Mhm.
see the swallowing action going on?
I think so. I think you moved to the windows, looked up, and you got to see the double swallow. Triple swallow if you count the canyon arrow.
Yeah. And then one of my friends still in the jaws of death there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the team does not look like it's in its best moments.
No, it's probably a good time to cut and run.
Well, it's nice knowing y'all.
Shoot. Oh, well, there goes my 401k. Sorry.
No, I have to do a little something better than that. All right. I think I'm going to have to try and be a little heroic and save them, I suppose.
Nice. I love that idea. What would you like to do?
I think I'm going to push my limits.
Oh, that's fascinating. Fascinating.
So I think I'm going to bid 3 of my confidence. As I begin invoking, calling upon, I guess, Asmodeus, King of Hell, and we see this energy beginning to flow into me as I just step out through the window and begin growing larger to, I'm basically going to try and punch it in the gut so it regurgitates my friends.
That is amazing. Now, Jen, let me check in with you about that push your limits bid. What Reverend Hazard put on the table is wanted to bid 3 confidence. Reverend Hazard is currently at a 2 confidence. Is that,
entirely possible?
Okay.
You can bid confidence even when you have 0 confidence. You're just going to go into the negative.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So you've got your bid, roll plus the amount bid. So roll plus 3. That's pretty awesome. You're going to be great. Everything's going to work out. This will be fine.
13.
Wow. On a 12 plus, you get your bid back. Shift 1 on a track of your choice and do what you set out to do. Now, I will tell you that it has been drained of all determination with this blow. So you will defeat the Hydrolon with this particular action. So you can work that into how you describe this. What does this look like? Atlas gets to see it.
As I say, I think I just kind of step out of the window. It has one of the weird effects of before I even touch it, it explodes out. Yes. As I step out, and this black fiery energy surrounds the deacon as he grows, 25, 30 feet tall, surrounded in this baleful flame. And he comes rushing up and just, like I say, just gut punches this thing right in its, where the heads meet. As he back to the fiery pits that spawns you, demon, and smacking into it, there is the sort of sound of it as it disgorges friends from its maw, and I think that there might be that sizzly smell and smoke as that flaming fist kind of penetrates into its chest. and when I pull back out, it starts to collapse as I also just drop back down to normal size and collapse down to my knees, kind of shaking, and you could see still that residual black flame in my eyes as I'm sort of muttering the black speech, trying to control the thing that had possessed me.
That is amazing. And so Armature and Seraph, you are vomited forth from the expiring extra-planar kaiju Atlas. It releases you and falls to the ground. We hear the Canyon Arrow's alarm going off. What came out with Armature and Seraph is the license plate from the Canyon Arrow, and the creature lies there, death throes, as the demon ram disappears from Reverend Hazard's last gasp there. And I think we've reached the staple, the middle of our issue here. We should definitely take a break. It is at the half past. Let's take a 10-minute break, friends.
All right.
And we will see you at 20 till. Hey, Jen. Your beakers.
Oh, tiny furry baby. Oh, he's so
Yes.
cute.
He actually likes his sweater,
Oh, that's nice.
which is nice because it's cold all the time.
Look, it's a rat.
Yes, he's a little rat boy. He's a little rat boy. Go on, go with mommy. I know you want to. Go on.
It's a rat with a sweater.
It is so cold. Oh, can you close the door, Carrie? Cool. I thought that the last bit of our game would be helpful if we pursued some of the downtime stuff that we've moved to its own tab now, and a little bit of that.
Much as Seraph would immediately be like, that was gross. Let's help the kids. And like, right into the next one.
Yep. Just waiting for Alex to come back. We can go step in just a minute if he isn't back in a minute or so.
I love my headphones. I absolutely love them. But I'm getting a short where my plug-in goes to, I have an extender for it, and it's starting to short out. So I occasionally can't hear. I've just noticed that it's starting.
Oh,
That's annoying. I also love these headphones, but I at some point walked away from the computer while I had them on my head, which which sort of pulled the microphone cords a bit. And I think like the last 2 times I tried it with you guys, everyone was going like, "You have an echo," and like, I think that it's still working. It's just a little bit damaged.
The nice thing is, this cord actually plugs into the earphones. I could take the plugs out, and I can replace this cord, but this will now be the 3rd time I've done so for the same reason. So I think there is a flaw in their connector cords.
Yeah, that sounds like it. That's interesting. I've got a pair of, I think these are Impal. I have a sticker over the name. I was just trying to see if it was anywhere else. They were pretty inexpensive on Amazon and highly recommended by some people that do a lot of audio editing. And they also have a, male-to-male 3.5 millimeter connector. It's one of the few things I know what the millimeter is. Is audio cable.
Well done. You know how much 3.5 millimeters is.
I know exactly. It's like this. I'd pull it out, but then I couldn't hear you. But yeah, that's if I could do like this is like 26 audio cable lengths, then maybe that's I should do that. Everything in 3.5 millimeter.
Metric is worse demonology than even I engage in.
Look, it makes a lot more sense.
It does. It does. It doesn't feel right for weather, but it makes a lot more sense. You're right.
I mean, Celsius is not even metric. It's like that's different, sure. But the metric system just from millimeters to centimeters to meters to
absolutely,
kilometers.
absolutely.
So easier.
You're right. You're right. Not gonna argue against it. I wish that I could think in meters more easily. Sweet. So let's pick up at the end of the staple after we see the cool X-ray specs advertisement. And I think we go ahead and we see that moment of Sarah climbing herself out. She's covered in hydrolon guts. And fulvia, is that the word? I can't remember.
effluvia.
Effluvia. Yes, it didn't feel right coming out of my mouth. Thank you for fixing it.
Yep, and just a couple sharp snaps of the wing and wiping off the arms. And just checks to see that Unisha is safe and intact, and tries to get eyes on Atlas, and
Who is just covered in drool.
Demon Deacon. Everybody all right?
I think you should go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think Armature like kind of maybe thrown clear slightly from her prosthetics. So just like, I think she's like, managing to sit up and just like, could just somebody nudge at least one of them.
I like reach down and scoop a good armful of the prosthetics and like lead them over to you.
I lift up a stump, and then it just like, as soon as it makes contact with my skin, it just starts wrapping around, forming an arm, and I kind of just form a hand and just stretch out the fingers. I'm like, thanks.
And if possible, could Atlas have maybe, when spit forth, landed near Deacon?
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Just covered in drool, but like,
I think as you land there, looking at Deacon, he still has that completely black eye, and a voice that is definitely not his says to you, "He has sold his soul, and he will sell any of you to protect it from its eternal damnation. Never doubt it." And as the blackness fades, Deacon kind of, "Are they all right?"
Like definitely, Alice is just really sort of like,
"You okay, boy?" And
they're fine.
And he'll come rushing up to you, looking like you.
Like big hands go up, like,
"Are you hurt?"
I'm okay. I'm just. How about you?
It takes a bit out of me. You give control over, and they leave the place they leave the place all messed up.
Yes. Do your friends know who your friends are?
They're not exactly my friends, but they know about everything.
Well, whatever. Do we need to worry about them if there's no enemies? I guess I'm saying.
No. I keep things under tight rein, so don't worry about that.
All right. So you're sure you're okay then?
Well, feel a little greasy inside, but that'll fade as I reach in and grab my flask and take a solid drink off of it. Let's make sure they're all right.
Yes. Let's. You go first.
So you guys jumped around. I do want to circle back because I feel like there was some comfort or support that happened between Seraph and Armature there.
Sure.
Definitely an expression of concern and humanity, and it's a perfect opportunity. And I want to explore downtime moves. So let's have. Seems like Seraph initiated it first, so let's have you roll with humanity, Seraph.
All right.
You've got a 1 in humanity.
All right, so that's 9 total.
Cool.
So they choose 1.
choices on downtime moves, you mark XP, you may make a tie, or if you open up to her, you can shift. They can shift one of your tracks. What do you choose, Armature?
Muted.
Yes. I think I'm going to go with the XP for.
Another important note. If you could take a tie with somebody and you already have that tie, you get a team instead.
Did that.
And I think I might need to start making that like explicit in some of the rules, but it just makes the moves so much wordier than they already are.
Add some team into our team. Yeah.
Okay, so you're choosing the option to get a tie, which you already have a tie, so your team goes from 0 to 1. I went ahead and updated it for you on the sheet. Atlas, I think you're checking in on the Reverend Hazard. Maybe you want
to have a tiny moment with Seraph. Just like
you do need it. Sorry. You do have to open up to. No. You don't have to. You don't have to, but you choose to. Let's see it.
Addition to the scene, just like I think as I'm getting up, like. I mean, I guess we're covered in like IGoA and.
I mean, I've shaken off a lot of it, but
yeah, so
this is going to be the work of.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's basically what I ask is, So, do you get to just like magically, like when the feathers disappear? Is that like IGoA gone for you, or do you have to clean it? I separate out my arm into like multiple tendrils, and you can see it like the ooze,
the goo just sort of sliding between them.
Yeah, like, and it's like just shake it out, and then like it all retracts back into a normal looking one.
And I just continue wiping and flicking goop off, and I'm like, well, honestly, I have two options. One, I change back and I'm still covered in goo as my usual self. Or two, I change back and I'm not covered in goo as my usual self. But when I become Seraph again, I am covered in goo again.
Okay, I would stick with Seraph because this stuff stings slightly. It's not good. And I'm only just now realizing my hair is just full of it. Like, I'm obviously, first thoughts, the tech. Is the tech okay? It's just covered in goo. But
right.
Okay, the hair. Just like
maybe let's have a quick dip in the river. It's not going to feel the best, but it will feel better once we're out again. A little more clean.
The shadow of us passing over Atlas and the Deacon.
Yeah, and I'll message to him and be like, be right back. We have to clean up before we start to lose skin to this garbage.
Nice. So yeah, that's transpires after Atlas and the Reverend have their brief conversation. Atlas, do you think you were offering some support to Reverend Hazard, or do you?
I mean, yeah, in a way, I think so.
But do you think the fact that he told you he's a demon and can't be trusted ruined that move? What do you think?
I mean, like that made him want to go like, are you sure you're okay? So, I'm not sure if he I think it counts.
Okay, cool.
So I have to roll with humanity, which I think for me is 0. Yes. That's a 6.
Okay. Yeah, on there is no prescribed thing on a miss. I get a thing.
Ah,
Yeah,
you get a thing.
I get a thing, and I am looking, and I think
Oh, also, I get an XP.
you do get an XP. I think that bit of information that Demon Deacon's demon gave you,
It's gonna freak me the shit out, yeah.
it freaks you the shit out, and I think that it severs your tie.
Ooh,
Yeah,
all right,
And
I'm going for the jugular.
that's good.
and I was kind of trying to back in ground yourself.
Ooh, neat. Let's have you engage that move then. You take some time to ground yourself, remind yourself why you do this and who you do this for. Frame a quick scene, which you did with one of your ties. You still have a tie with him, and they will shift your confidence or trust 1 towards 0.
Right. Because my idea on this, while it's not kind of me grounding myself, it is definitely showing why I do this and in that sort of. Jen, do you think that fits well? Like I say, I'm back ending it, but the concept there is to. I mean, this is clearly why he does this. He is ridden by demons. He is trying to save his soul, whatever means he can. Do you think that fits the move?
Yeah, I think it does. That seems fine.
Good with you, Rich?
Yeah. I like it. It reminds me of the Mask's kind of share of vulnerability. Ask a question, somebody what they think of you. Although yours was more like stating why you're doing it, and then kind of going right.
So then I get to move your trust or confidence to 0. Towards 0. Well, considering that your trust has not really gone up, I'm gonna say confidence down by 1.
Okay. And I am over pledged. Is that the one?
You are.
No, you're overconfident right now.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
overconfident.
When
I'm
your trust
moving
is
you
in the
towards-
negative, you're just sucking.
Yes.
Okay.
There's no special name for it.
When you have minuses, it's just like, no, you have minuses. This is bad enough.
I got you. I have, because both of my little moves that use my negatives, push my negatives to do that. That's where I was confused a little. Okay.
But because I could have moved your trust up to -1, but that seemed.
That's not how you reacted.
It's like, yeah, no, I trust you less. So then I'm gonna say confidence.
Cool. Alrighty.
Cool. Anything more the two of you wanted to do before we move to the river?
I think I think Atlas will just be walking towards the river, because oh yeah, no, sure, you go take a bath, and I'll just be here covered in monster slobber.
We cut to armature. One of your tentacles opens up and does a little view screen thing to where armature and Seraph can both see the news report from Ruby Fontaine as she's interviewing the megastars, along with the superlatives. Superlatives are a team of young heroes who are, like, among their group is a hero who is literally called Awesome Possum. There's some footage shown of him screaming out, "I don't know if I can get that big!" And then he grows to about 3/4 the size of the kaiju that they fought, while the rest of his team circle around along with the megastars, and they hammer down their poisonous monster in city center and defeat it. It looked like a pretty hellacious fight. A number of their folks are quite hurt, and Parkside is going to need a lot of work because that's where the body fell. And then it cuts over to the fight that is just now ending between the Crusaders, both the Transcendent and the Young Crusaders, up in North Bay against the monster that was trying to drill underneath a lot of the buildings and parts of North Bay to kind of flood it. And it looks like that they were assisted in their darkest moments by none other than Coppertop, who came in and dealt some severe blows. And there's a little bit of footage of him like hammering on the back of the head of the bug-eyed monster while being helped by the other members of the Crusaders. It appears that all three of the monsters have been defeated, and Ruby Fontaine finishes up the report saying, "But where did they come from? Will more come? We don't know. Stay tuned, listeners. At this point, the police department and the mayor are still asking people to stay near their homes. We will keep you up to date. Stay glued to Halcyon City News, and we will keep you informed." And I think all four of you are now at the river, at the edge of the South River, cleaning off. What do you wish to do?
Squeezing out the hair.
Yep. Yeah, I'm doing the same to mine as my wings continue to shake off goop and water until they feel more or less clean. I'll check one and run a hand through some feathers.
You know, I can hear your stomach from here, Atlas.
Yes.
I'm hungry too. Shawarma?
Shawarma.
All right, let's do this. I think just a smash cut to us, like, as we are next to a shawarma cart.
Yes. I'm all about it. This sounds good.
We each got our little paper bucket of shawarma.
Atlas has 3, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like
I don't know. I mean, if this is your cart, maybe they've got like a special Atlas Mondo tray.
Oh, do they know?
They know. They keep it for you. It's reusable because you're there every week.
Like a big KFC bucket size. Cool. Armature, did you? I know you were trying to figure out where this thing came from. Did you get any ideas?
Well, it's extra-dimensional, at least. That's obvious.
So from another reality. Well, that's mostly...
Isn't everything nowadays?
Yeah,
I got a sample. I got too many samples.
I suppose the important thing is this because something is weakened between here and there, or did somebody bring them?
I mean, if I can figure out the dimensional frequencies, I can figure out which dimension these came from.
Could you find connections from the past? So, for instance, could we triangulate when they arrived and about where that energy was when they started to get here? Because they were probably summoned if they came through the water.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somewhere out deep. Okay, and frankly, I'm always banging on the past. I just wonder if this isn't something to do with PbtA.
Maybe also check where Blackstone used to be. It might be like dimensionally unstable, considering that they took an entire island.
to another dimension. Good call. Yeah, I think we are, Tyler. Good call. I think we're doing a put the pieces together.
Rich was
Absolutely,
furiously
yes.
going, I know there's a move. I was trying to find the move. Someone beat me to it. That's awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Put the pieces together. This is a move. When you need to put the pieces together, call a team meeting. Boom. Shawarma meeting. Start with the person who called the meeting, ask player teammate some questions. Player answers the question. They pick someone else to answer the next question. The process repeats until each player is asked something. When the questions and answers are finished, the MC will provide a new detail or lead. This also could be a way to kind of reach out to allies and go among the enemy as well. So, and cloister and research. So, lots of cool stuff.
I feel like this is a put the pieces together first, and then maybe we do the other things.
Sounds good. Yeah, I agree. Has everyone asked a question now that we're directed to the move?
Yeah, because I said, could it be PbtA effectively?
Mm-hmm.
And Atlas was like, well, could it
Blackstone.
be the Blackstone Zone? So I think, did Unisha and Reverend Hazard get some questions?
I think I was asking do we think this was, the weakening of a wall or someone attacking or
Right.
bringing them in for a purpose sort of thing, which might fit under the what are you most worried will happen next?
I think the
let's start over a little bit mechanic wise, and
just so we can play through this
Hazard
this is
start
interesting.
and ask that question specifically to whom?
To Armature.
You were asking it to Armature, yeah.
That's right. So if it's just a thinning, well, that's something we need to fix. But if somebody's doing this on purpose, well, that's a whole hell of a different thing.
Well, we need a location of where this began, then. Where it came into our dimension. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a gist of the root move. So I get to ask. Now I get to ask a teammate one of the questions. Yep.
Yeah, because mine was basically, what are you most worried about considering?
So I'm struggling to find one that would fit. Okay. Well,
What do you want to ask? Maybe we can help you back into it, or maybe it's just a question we need to add at some point.
now I've got other people's questions in my head, so now I'm really stealing another bus. Like,
just focus on your question for now.
Let go.
Yeah.
It's not important how ours will fit in just not yet.
Okay. Well,
We're moving from question to question.
Yeah. Okay. If somebody has summoned this, then we need to find out what was their goal. Is this attacking the city? Is there something, a plan beyond that?
Who did
She
you ask?
wouldn't ask Atlas.
Okay.
Sarah.
Still not, huh?
Wouldn't or would? Because
She would not. In this kind of situation, I think even if she suspects he's smarter than he puts on, she wouldn't ask this kind of thing.
okay. And what was the question again? Sorry.
Basically, is that if somebody made this happen, what was their goal? I mean, bringing 3 giant monsters into the city.
Yeah.
That in
So
itself is not really a plan.
All right. Yeah. If I was going to mush that into the questions that are here, what makes the possibility of a conspiracy here important to you personally? Might be a good kludge. And yeah, Seraph's answer is like, if this is a part of a coordinated plan, then it's troubling that that's probably the first step to something, and not the last step to something. And Seraph is pretty suspicious because there we go, all of that great role of Coppertop redeeming himself by punching a kaiju a whole bunch. Well, not punching, but electroshocking the crap out of them, which, you know, on the one hand, he was fighting a kaiju, and that's good. And on the other hand, if this was a setup, that's extremely bad. So yeah, I worry personally that this, if it's a conspiracy that involves the Transcendent Crusaders, it marks a new height of depravity on the part of the Crusaders, using their position to keep themselves famous. And then, yeah, I will ask Atlas, I think. What do you most want to learn about the Blackstone Zone?
I mean, the answer to that would be, of course, if there's dimensional instabilities remaining from everything that was there.
Yep.
And I guess my follow-up probably to Armature would be, what do you remember about Blackstone Island that I might have missed?
Well, I mean, they might have called it something else, but I'm fairly sure that island was powered by a black hole. I mean,
that's the only thing that has that much energy, right?
Exactly.
Fair.
I mean, and Alice, you're right. That kind of thing is going to leave the fabric of reality in not a good state.
I was thinking something big in the water.
Yeah. And what's there is probably just all deep water right now. And whatever might be left behind.
Not a bad idea. I mean,
all right.
Thought.
I've got time, and I'm feeling good enough to go.
For a swim?
Yep. Who else feels like they can hold their breath a long time?
Me. Big lungs.
Me.
Throw me in the water again.
Let's do it.
Rev, do you want to come to the lab?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I could breathe in water, but I might need an hour to make that happen.
I would also have to take some preparations.
Cool. So we're gonna do well, you have to mention, like, you kind of open a doorway and you're going into Armature Industries, I assume. Isn't like you have to travel far.
I mean, it's out of the local shawarma place, so it's not far to just stroll.
Good. Real quick time check. How much? 15. Are we good to go to the hour? Just checking.
I'm good to go to the hour.
Everybody else good to go to the hour? Basically another 45? All right.
Sure.
Awesome.
That includes
time zone stuff. I
the,
just want to double check.
As long as that includes the after
Yeah, fair. So we kind of only got about 15, 20 more minutes of game time.
Yep,
Sounds
absolutely.
about right.
Cool. So we'll kind of jump to you guys coming back to Anisha's lab. Seraph, you receive a message on the Seraph phone, not not your phone. You've gotten messages on your phone from Liz checking in, like, "Are you alive? Wow, that was terrible."
Those take priority.
Yep, exactly. They do. She was downtown at City Center when that was attacked. She has a few pictures she shares with you with the gigantic kaiju monster.
She was too close to that. There's a certain picture of wifely dread going on here.
She does it more of like a sharing information, but you can tell from just the phrasing of the way the texts are that there were several moments of terror there. But she's also trying to assure you and check in on you, like, I'm fine, no one in my office was hurt, etc., etc. The text that Seraph gets, I guess you've got like hot swappable SIM cards or 2 phones or whatever. You've got Armature as your friend. It is from Student Body. She's letting you know that the Crusader Tower is open for everyone who fought against the Kaiju. They're having a big celebration, but also a like put our heads together because that was a significant threat kind of thing going on. And
oh boy,
yeah,
I gotta see this.
That's the phone? Oh, that's the phone cover. Okay.
Oh, barf.
That's cute.
I was actually I was hoping for like a rotary phone covered in feathers, but there wasn't one. So.
Sorry for people
Not
watching.
where I take it.
It's a
He
silly
will
phone.
cover you with his feathers and his wings. You will find his refuge.
Lordy. Yeah. Not correct, but funny. Funny. So yeah, I will share that tidbit of information with the rest of the group.
Pass.
I might go. Atlas, do you think you're good to investigate Blackstone on your own, or should we put that off until after I'm done seeing if anything interesting shakes out at Crusader Tower?
I guess I mean,
I'm not 100% okay dropping you off and leaving you there by yourself.
no, I don't want to be there by myself.
Yeah. Okay.
I could come to Crusader Tower first.
It would be great to have a wingman.
I get it.
Thank you. Like, there's that moment where I'm like, oh no, wing puns didn't work.
Pensive look on Sarah's face. She wonders if her pun worked or not. That's good. I like that. That's a total panel. And Atlas, as you're agreeing to go to Crusader Tower, you get a text from Unyoung Kim. Are you okay? Just saw TV. Are you okay?
I just sent a message back saying, like, yeah, just covered in drool, but fine.
Gross. Take a shower. I'll be home tonight.
Will do.
Cool. So it appears that Seraph and Atlas are going to Crusader Tower for the Megastars, Crusaders, Transcendent Crusaders, Young Crusaders, and Superlatives putting their heads together on what just happened. What is Armature doing? Cloistering herself in research as she is wont to do, or are you doing something else?
I think she's about to cloister herself. Yeah.
And what about Reverend Hazard?
I think I was also going to be doing investigating bits to see if I could figure out what's going on.
When you do investigating bits, we take a look at the downtime moves. You could reach out to your allies. I don't know if I want your allies, but you've got allies. You could go among the enemy. What of these are you most interested in? And you could cloister too. I mean, you're
go among the enemy could be like just going through the corpses.
Let's see. I also have my what is it? Friends in Darker Knowledge.
Oh, right.
Which is kind of what I was
right
thinking.
up your alley. Yeah, that's better. That's good. It's communing with the underworld. It's a better choice than, going to your allies for help. I like it.
Yeah.
Good call. Awesome. Let's hit Armature first because we're at her lab. Let's have her cloister herself in research. When you dig in and do some serious research on a problem, either in the library or the lab, roll with genius on a 10 plus, pick 2, on a 7 to 9, pick 1.
Find my dice. My dice have not liked me. Let's see.
Your genius is pretty good. You're old 5.
And they just want to give you experience.
They really want to give me XP. I mean, let's mark them.
Oh, that's a 3. I saw a 4 and a 1 for some reason, but that's a 3.
Oh, I rolled. Then I rolled. That was my previous roll, the 4 and a 1. Now it's much better.
So yeah, that's a fail. That is a failure. The dice have hurt you in your piteous cry for more XP, and the dice have answered with authority. Cool.
Oh,
so
basically, on any results, if you choose to neglect other responsibilities while you go deep into the problem, you may pick an additional.
Yep, take a -1 trust.
I will just say, did I unlock the shop after the crisis was over? I'm just saying. You learn where someone or something came from.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm triangulating all satellite data, hacking into military and government satellites, other labs. I'll at least make an attempt at Dr. Solus's lab because I know they've got some pretty nifty tech there. Some monitoring equipment that's out in the bay, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm just pooling it all, overlaying it,
Good call.
Currents, water flow, energy readings, weather patterns. Yeah.
Awesome. So, yeah, you do all this research, focus in on Blackstone because of Atlas's suspicions. And it's not until you start working through satellite imagery, and this is I think where everybody else's scenes are going to complete before yours complete, right? Because you're really cloistered. You've lost, and by the way, your trust goes to -2.
Okay.
Right, because you have to take a -1 trust, and you're already at -1, right? You hadn't already dropped it down. I thought you were already at -1, so you got a -2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so you go through satellite imagery of everything from Hanover, and you start working back to see where things move. And you find that 1 week earlier, there were several vans that headed to the harbor, and they all loaded a bunch of equipment onto a deep sea vessel that went and spent time anchored directly over the point where Blackstone Island once stood. So let's go to Reverend Hazard. Reverend Hazard, you wanted to do some darker knowledge. When you commune with the underworld, supernatural or otherwise, roll with power. Let me tell you that if you fail, Dalmuth will answer you. Just so you know.
And get a tie. All right. I am probably, after everybody's splitting out, I'll probably head to my little home, since that's my better spot for conjuring things, rather than this odd lab. And I'll lament not having my car and be bitching about needing that back, as I have to take a cab. But I am going to set up all of the appropriate accoutrements to prepare to summon a demon of knowledge. I'm particularly summoning up, there's if you want to take a look, who I'm trying. Balaam, who is knowledgeable, gives perfect answers to things past, present, and to come.
It may make men invisible and witty. Three-headed. Oh, nice. Okay, this is crazy.
I hope it's always invisible and witty at the same time. So you lay in a solid burn on somebody, but nobody knows it was you.
Knows me.
That's great.
As I try to summon this creature up.
All right, let's see these dice here, friend. Good luck. By good luck, I mean fail.
Well, that is an 8.
Dang it. What's up with you in +2? Awesome. Rolling with power. Yep, there you go. On a 7 to 9, pick one. You gain some hidden knowledge. You gain some underworld assistance. A subject of the underworld doesn't take a tie with you.
Well, I think I'm going to have to give up the tie if I want to get something. I'd like some hidden knowledge.
Nice.
Balaam, where is this coming from? What horrors are happening?
I think you go back to like your crappy rented house with the rusted chain link fence on the outside and the big tree that's the root has gone to the point where it's cracked the sidewalk that leads up to the front porch. You head inside. Maybe do you imagine you have like candles and some kind of chalk circle around you? And
yeah, I know all those stuff.
Yeah. And then your image, your spirit just kind of appears in this dark, foreboding, hellish landscape, and before you is this creature, Balaam, with 3 heads, the head of a bull, the head of a ram, and in the middle is the head of a man. And of course the man has like the goatee with the pointy beard thing and a pair of horns, and he's really handsome. And he looks down at you.
Thank you for hearing me, great Balaam.
The ram snorts. So disappointed. Reverend Hazard, you could have avoided this. Your choice, your dereliction has brought this upon you.
These monsters, these creatures that attacked, I brought this upon me?
You did.
So, Dalmuth sent these things.
He did not. Dalmuth attempted to avert this. There is a great danger coming to your world. This is only a harbinger of it.
And this has something to do with Seraph, then.
It does. And you.
Can you tell me who it is that wants to meet with her?
I cannot. You must return to Dalmuth. You must repair what you have broken. And meet your obligations. Or you'll find hell close to you. You do not want that. You may think you do. But in this dark time, you do not.
Thank you.
Be gone. And the bull snorts and gives out like this bullish roar, and then you're thrown back into your own body. Yes. And then we jump to Crusader Tower, and there are people like quickly gathered up as you guys arrive. Do you use avians like flying entrance and fly above the crowds to go in?
Dude, of course.
Awesome. You go over and you see that there's a bunch of Halcyon City Police Department that are gathered around the body that fell in the city center, doing cleanup work. And when you land in Avian comes out, and Seraph, Atlas, it's good to see both of you. But he's definitely more concerned in talking to Seraph. Sorry, Atlas. He comes up and clasps your hand.
Good to see you in one piece.
Yes, the same for you. I cannot believe that one team defeated one of these kaiju. The Guardians, you are very powerful.
Wasn't easy. I'm glad that we were there and that so many teams were mobilized for this. Clearly, we needed everybody.
Clearly.
2.5 of our team got eaten,
Eaten?
Swallowed. It was deeply unpleasant. I want to change the subject real bad.
Well, perhaps you don't want to talk about this, but I am curious. I thought I saw what appeared to be, according to our records, an actual demon that was involved in your fight. I thought that Demon Deacon dealt in illusions. Are you trucking with those creatures?
I believe that was an illusion.
Like, you see Atlas sort of frown behind her, like,
Let me ask, Seraph, do you believe it was an illusion? Or are you leading Avian astray?
So, I'm just gonna try and lay it out here that Seraph understands these things because she has a specific magical sense.
Yep. I completely agree.
And the ram was mostly an illusion. And then what Reverend Hazard did near the end was mostly a demon being brought to the world.
So you may not have
And
seen
I'm aware. And I might not have seen it, but I knew what was going on. So I'm white lying it here.
Okay.
For sure.
I still want to see. I'd say I'll give you a +1 because you're white lying it, but I still want to see you tricking. Right? Does that seem cool?
Cool. That seems cool. That seems fair.
Roll with genius, and it's trust aligned.
All right. So that +1 bonus from white lying it takes me to a 0 and trust to a +2. Let's take it to the dice.
All right, rolling +2.
All right, 12.
Wow. He says, "Oh, good. I was a little worried. That looked." And then you guys, like, the space opens up, and you're up on a balcony that kind of looks down on. You're not down in the lobby where we saw the big open party, right? You're looking down on the main conference room where the Transcendent Crusaders will often have dignitaries and talk about, global affairs and all
Or they
that
have
good
a really
stuff.
big table.
They have a really big table. They do.
Yeah,
I remember
absolutely.
that table.
The big
Big
table
table,
with
lots of chairs.
all the chairs and the huge
Extensive
Transcendent
jewel
Crusader
case.
heraldry. And you notice Seraph, that Heavenly Body, she actually has she has some kind of bandage on the side of her face.
Do you mean
And
student body?
so I do. I'm sorry, student
Yeah,
body. I apologize. Not Heavenly Body. Whoops.
I've also got an overburden choice to make.
Oh.
So yeah, I think I don't need to improvise some concrete assurance, and they buy into the trick for now. And then
When you're overburdened on a 12 plus, you must also choose trick an additional target of the MC's choosing, or your misdirection escalates, requiring new lies.
Yep. And I think I'll just choose to trick an additional target.
Interesting. Atlas. Could Atlas be tricked into this? She is the heavenly expert.
Honestly, I think it would be funnier if Mambo were tricked.
Oh yeah, that could be pretty great.
Yeah, I was going to say, considering that Atlas had a little small encounter.
That's why I was checking in. I was like, that's a little of a stretch. Let me check in with Jan and see what he thinks. I agree with you though.
I would have gone with it, but there was
It also robs Tyler's reveal, and I want that fear on the table. So yeah, you lost a tie over it. So yeah, sorry. Let me withdraw that request. It is Mambo. We'll go with Mambo being tricked.
It was a good one. I was also considering it, but
okay. Sure, I'm good with Mambo being fooled by this trick. So the two of you come, I assume Atlas 3 at a time, taking the stairs down to join everybody else, while Avian and Seraph, both of you, float down. You see that everyone is here, all of the megastar. Well, not everyone, right? There's probably a few members of each team that are out on patrol in case there's another secondary follow-up thing. Probably not the Thinkers, right? So Sloth isn't here. He's in the mega car flying around, the flying megastar car and I think Kid Alchemy isn't here. He's working with Desert Wasp. And Coppertop, of course, is not here because he's not officially welcome back into the team. But Zion sees the two of you arrive and he says, "Congratulations, both of you. Your work against the Hydrolon was excellent. I was very impressed. I've reviewed some of the footage. We're trying to gather information about these beings. And Keiji Himura, who's known as Nano, he just kind of steps on Zion's congratulations to say, you understand that these things are from another dimension, an alternate Earth? Were you aware of this?
Yes.
I assume that's something Armature found out?
I mean, it was so obvious.
I wouldn't call it obvious.
Atlas is, lying, but just going of course, yeah, we knew. And it wasn't just because of Armature.
Cool. So, just to kind of, because we do have a time factor, do you guys feel like you're going among the enemy here, or do you feel like you're reaching out to your allies, as it were?
So,
I think it might be that we feel differently about this. One of us might feel enemy,
that's interesting.
one of us might feel allies.
Oh, that's cute.
Delicious, actually.
That's magically delicious. Let's do it.
Because I feel definitely like Seraph is reaching out to allies,
Okay, yeah.
troubled though that reach might be.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And what is
And
Alice?
Atlas isn't wrong in assuming that he's going among the enemy. However, if you look at the trick with go among the enemy is that like the title is really chewy and flexible, but the content of the move is pretty clearly like
it's
you
like
weren't
either
supposed to
get your thing or you
be there.
Yeah,
Like
good
go
point.
among the enemy is kind of like when Batman puts on his Matches Malone disguise and goes to the poker game between, you know, Crocodile and Joker and
I don't think
tries
that's
not to get
what,
caught.
I don't think that's what Atlas is really do. I mean, that's not his style anyway.
Yeah, like what are the contexts of go among the enemy? And I think I need
Armature
to
would have
change.
been much better at that.
Yeah, and I think I need to change the title of the move just to call for it.
Yeah,
Is
just
that
call
you're not supposed to get caught.
Yes.
Go call it Matches Malone. No, joking.
I wish I could, but I'm pretty sure I
know.
can't. And
Pretty
like
sure you can't get it.
the Avenger has a move, and I was like, I can't work in a matches pun that's clear enough that people will get it. Right?
All right, so both of you are hitting the reach out to your allies. Jen, is this a thing where you think each player should roll it individually, or you guys should team up?
We might have different allies, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's enough people here
Yeah,
that we can kind of each focus on different groups.
I have
sounds good.
allies.
I like that.
I have allies in the Megastars, and you have allies in the Transcendent Crusaders, and like we've got different allies that it makes sense to have different angles. I think.
That sounds awesome. Good. I just want to check in. I didn't want to invalidate any aspect of that move. So who wants to go first?
I think it makes sense for Jen to go first.
Cool. I'm just taking a note. This playtest has generated a lot of notes for me for stuff that I want to tweak and improve and stuff. So A+ team for this particular thing. So let's see here. When you reach out to your allies, name who you're going to and roll. No stat, but ties can still boost you. So, So I don't have any ties currently with anyone there. So I'm going to be rolling flat.
If you want to at any point retroactively say you've got a tie with student body, I really felt like last session would have set that up. But if you don't want it because you don't necessarily think that's juicy enough, then keep it and we'll roll flat.
The trick is that if I wanted to take that tie with student body, I'd have to give up a tie.
That's right, because of your secret
With,
identity and all
like-
that stuff, you've got a lot of ties. So yeah, I think you should keep as is and just roll flat then. Good point.
Yeah. So. Okay, so an 8.
All right.
Got 2 4s.
On a 7 to 9, you pick one.
Someone offers to come with you in a future scene. Someone volunteers crucial information. I am motivated by the contact. Someone offers material support, gear access, or shelter.
Those are all pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think I might let drop in the interest of gaining some kind of support that we're going to the Blackstone Manor zone to investigate and see if there's anything there. But I'm gonna put this before the peanut gallery. Should I grab a team while the getting's good, or should I? Is there somebody from Transcendent Crusaders that you want to team up with us next session? Or should we get material support or crucial information?
Info seems good, but team seems hard to come across.
It's true.
I mean, you can always get an extra option.
I can't because I don't have a team to spend.
What? On any result, you can choose an additional option.
But choose one of the following as well. That's true. Thank you.
Yeah.
My mind was tangled up with Go Among the Enemy for that.
Ooh, that is juicy. So you can choose another option, but you have to take one of 3 bad things. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I like those. I might do that. So yeah, I will do that, and gonna flip on the other one. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna take gain 1 team, and somebody offers material support. And I'm going to say that I'm too invested in what my allies think of me. The MC should shift one of my tracks.
Ooh, yeah. I think it's specifically the fact that you're kind of hobnobbing when Atlas has this generally negative opinion, right? So I think I'm going to move your...
I mean, he's not wrong.
I'm going to move your trust down a little, down to a 1. So from 2 to 1.
Sure.
Trusting the wrong people here. And despite your previous misgivings, Zion and Avian. So just so I'm clear, rephrase. What were the 2 choices that you made then?
I chose to gain motivation and get a team.
Okay.
And next session we should get some sort of token of material support, whether it's gear or access or shelter of some kind.
Awesome. I like that. Cool. And then can we just kind of keep that in reserve until, because defining up front seems kind of weird, but yeah.
It does. So I'll make a note in my character notes.
Good call. And let's not do that. Like, it's a +1 forward that we forget to use kind of deal. So thank you for that. Atlas. So you come in, there's like, it's weird because the group of heroes that are assembled here, there's like no cameras. There's no, like, there's a little bit of a talk about we need to put out a statement to let people know what's going on and help to organize things with the police department and the mayor. There's a little bit of like, I think Mambo talks about how do we spin this, but you realize that they're not playing this to an audience. This is a thing that seems to actually concern Zion and the other members of the Crusaders, which kind of freaks out the young Crusaders to a degree because they realize that they're the big shit right now. Yeah, so there's that. So let's check in with Atlas. Everybody from the Megastars is here except for Sloth. Like, Battlecry is here, but Sloth is not. And La Espada, she like kind of comes in and out every once in a while. She keeps using her portal to go check on things, but comes back here, reports back. So who are you going to?
I guess I would be going to Battlecry because we had a good chat last time.
Nice. All right. That sounds good. So you head up to Battlecry. And I think he's got his phone out. He's seated at the table, and he's texting back and forth with Sloth, and he's got a live spot, and he keeps kind of swiping back and forth between the two of them. Looks up and then up. Hey, big guy.
Hello, Clarence. Was there anything weird about your monster?
I mean, kaiju?
Uh-huh. That's weird, I know.
Yeah.
What else?
So it seemed like it kind of ate pollution.
Ours went for a water tank. I'm not sure if that water was polluted, but guessing it wasn't particularly.
I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to keep things going. He says he keeps looking back at his phone. He points around at like Nano and says, those guys are the strategists. And then why don't you go ahead and make your roll, and let's see if we have any other questions you want to get from him.
So this would be a.
Do you have a tie with? By the way, if you take a tie with Battlecry, you get a tie with Sloth. Just so you know.
Oh,
it's the 2-for-1 special.
Then yes, because I feel like the tie with Sloth would be appropriate. But if they're 2-for-1, then yes, absolutely.
Totally 2-for-1. Awesome. Okay. Go ahead and make your roll. You get to add a +1 because of that tie.
Yes, and let's research your allies. That's an 8.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, you get to pick one. Do you want to take an additional option by choosing one of the 3 bad ones? It's me being a pusher.
Yeah. I mean, I'm asking for crucial information, so I'm going to start with that, and then I'll see if I want to push.
Okay. Cool. So the crucial information they gives you is just looking around for a little bit, and then kind of gestures you to lean down a little bit, and he says,
Crouch down, yeah.
So Sloth is in the mega car, and Nano told him to go check out where that island, Anil's Island, used to be. Said that that's where the signature first originated. Like there was nothing, and then it all started from that point.
I think news of my inquiries will spread to the wrong people. For offer of coming with in the future scene. Like it seems we're going to the same place, and it's like probably someone bad is going to find out about this, but like we might be able to team up on this as well.
Awesome. And I think he taps a couple text messages, and then all in caps, Sloth strikes back. Tell Atlas to come with us.
That was the plan anyway.
And he says, "Yeah, let's figure this shit out, man. I don't need to. I mean, technically we've got a thing, but like the megastars, we're doing our own, just like you guys, except we're more popular."
Considering that and then like humble brag, for most of the teams it took for most of the kaiju it took 2 teams to take them down.
He looks at me.
It might be good to team up at the source.
Oh, man, amigo, you got me there. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Perfect.
All right.
Cool. So we really need to be at time so we can finish stuff up. So I will say that will bring this issue to a close. At the end of the session, take a moment to reflect on how the events of the game went and what big changes happened or seem to be on their way. Choose someone you're tied with and ask them one of these questions. Who would like to go first?
I will unmute. It's like an easy one for me today. How did I affect you this session, Seraph?
It meant a lot that you came after me. that was super
failed.
kind. You failed. It sucked, but you tried, and not only that, like, it just seemed like this really heat of the moment, I gotta go help Seraph kind of deal. So, like heart shape, big friendship, that felt nice. I felt very supported.
Then you get to shift one of my tracks.
Nice. Let's see there. Where are you at?
I'm -2 trust and
I trust you more.
Yay! I'm just -1.
That's not even a stretch.
Nice. Who'd like to go next?
The obvious would be to go to you, Jan, but I think I'm going to twist that up. I think I know how I affected you. I'm going to ask instead, Alex, how did I affect the team?
I just gonna get the move open as well while I'm here. Right to the end of the session. I think you showed that you're more than just like, you have this, like, before it's like, you're the guy who deals when it's a Demon D magic-y thing. No, you can be a powerhouse when needed. Like, I mean, I didn't see the scary parts. I just know that you became really big and sucker punched. Saved us all. Like, that's my takeaway from it. So
cool. What's your shifting?
I would put the confidence up.
All right.
Nice. So Jen or Jan, who wants to go next?
I mean, I guess I'll go then. Seraph, how did I affect the team this session?
Honestly, I feel like you were this very stable, reliable influence on the team. You performed the brick role. You had good, sensible ideas when we needed them. You're always putting in your part, and so that was cool. I'm actually going to cool you off a little bit and bump your confidence down to 2.
That's
and
much
bring you a little more into balance.
Much
Because I
appreciated.
think that's what that stability is really all about.
Nice call.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, I got my own.
Yep. Jen's turn.
I'm in the wrong tab because there are 2 tabs now. And Reverend Hazard, how did my actions affect the community this session?
I think that it's probably fairly clear both to the superhero community, to us, and probably filtering down to like people on the street, that you are kind of our de facto leader. And you went flying in with Atlas, but flying straight into danger. I think you're being seen as this very inspirational figure. I'm a dark presence. Armature's kind of standoffish, and Atlas, though I think is lovable, certainly is a little quiet and withdrawn on occasion. But you are definitely the light of our team. So I think the community is seeing that. And I will shift. I think I'll shift your trust up one.
Okay. People trust the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Good call.
So good.
That's pretty Paragon. So good times.
It is appropriate. Cool. Well, let's circle back around to Alex. We'll do roses and wait, were we doing rose, stars, and wishes? I can't remember.
We've been doing stars and wishes, I think.
All right, let's stick with stars and wishes.
It was stars and wishing, yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's do that thing.
We're doing stars and wishes.
Yes, stars and wishes.
Yep.
2 stars and a wish.
I think from my stuff that my favorite little bit was just that little bit of scene with Seraph. Just everything leading off from being puked out.
Just having that moment.
Yeah, just
Being like, help me out.
go down to the river.
Yeah.
Washing out the slime and
Rich notes more puking out. Okay.
More horrible slime.
Yep.
Wishes. A little bit. I would like some Reverend Hazard time. I want to build that kind of connection. See what that actually means between them a bit more. And another wish would be I want to see some of our close NPCs in the next session. Like the aunts, uncles, the Dr. Solus's, the other parents.
I almost tried to wedge in a brief swing in to kiss and hug my wife and let her bodily know I didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
just small doses, just a little bit of that sprinkle in next session. That's a wish.
That's a great wish. I will make it happen. Tyler, 2 stars and a wish, friend.
I'm going to start.
I did the right way around. Sorry, I realized.
Do what?
I did the opposite way around.
It is a star and 2 wishes.
Yeah.
The star. You did 2 wishes and 1 star? Okay, that's right. It's just 1 star. Do you have another star you want to throw in?
No, I'll move on.
Okay. All right. Wish on Alex. Follow instructions. Okay, Tyler.
I want to start first off. Jan, I liked your reaction with that. I'm glad you played into that. I wanted to reveal a little bit, and you were perfect, and that was excellent. And that goes along with also the star on everything in the session. You were so strong. I mean, it was just a really, really solid performance all the way around. And outstar you, Rich, because I think this was a really cool, nifty session. I think that the battle was very interesting, and having kaiju come in can be, oh my god, but it was still a very us fight. It seemed it flowed nice. It was really good. Oh, and a wish. I kind of wish that we would get to that meeting. I want to figure out what's going on with Seraph and what they're wanting and how this is playing out. I kind of wish for that.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Tyler. Jan, 2 stars and a wish, friend.
So, 4 stars. I really enjoyed the little reveal from the Deacon. That was very nicely played, and put that little bit of which is going to be delicious in the in upcoming things. I think we had really good team play. And I wanted, and then I know it's a third, I'm sorry. I want to throw a star at put the pieces together because that's an awesome move and it works. Like I'm not sure if it always will work this well, but it really works really well this session where everyone already had a question and it was just like, okay, now we just need to fit these into the the rules questions.
Yeah.
But we were already going like, okay, yeah, but what about this? What about this? What about this? And then like, okay, yeah, we're trying to put the piece together. Just fit your question to one of these, and that works well as well. So I was like, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's always felt like a pretty natural move, but this one came off very naturally. That was cool.
For Wish, I guess I wish we could get like I wish we could get the teamwork moves a bit more fluent. I'm sure it will happen. We've only used them twice now, but and like we're starting to get there, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think we got some stuff we can smooth out, and I do think a couple more times, like hopefully we can work in another big fight in next session so that we can develop a little bit more fluency. Cool. Jen, 2 stars and a wish.
All right. I think star 1, this session did a really great job of dredging up playtest notes for me. So I've got like 4.5 notes of things that I want to dig into Project Lycra and like tweak or massage or change flat out. So very productive session for that. Other stars. I mean, just a lot of great role play from everybody. Yes, yeah, we got a bunch of XP doing this. So there was a lot of hanging on. This fight felt really tense because we were really low on team and because we failed so many rolls.
I thought Transcendent Crusaders were going to come in and save y'all's ass. Like that was honestly, my next hard that was my next hard move.
Oh, that would have been so embarrassing.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Tyler
like,
hadn't,
honestly, if Tyler hadn't pushed his limits, I would have done that. And slammed on that. But it was unnecessary because Tyler knocked it out. And a wish for next session. I kind of want Ashley Banner and Reverend Hazard to like go car shopping.
That would be cool.
Yes.
Like that's a very specific extract of me wanting to do a little bit more Ashley Banner.
The most normie ones just doing very normie stuff.
That would be super, super neat.
Yep.
I like that. Good suggestion. All right. Good. So we are going to go ahead and bring this thing to a close. Thank you all so much for your participation and putting up with me robbing licensed properties and making jokes in the side chat, but not letting you interrupt the fun. That was very cool. Really enjoyed today's session, and we'll see you next week as we continue the delve into Halcyon City. Thanks, everybody. Bye.